I don't know about you, but when I finish up a great little run of holidays or days off, Christmas vacation, there's a certain sense when you get back to work, you kind of feel like you're a little bit frustrated because you're so far behind and you see all the stuff that you haven't done, and you pick things up where you left them off. It seems like it was so long ago. It's almost like you're punished for taking time off and enjoying yourself. That's kind of where I'm at right now, getting back into the swing of things. And before I get fully cranked on the knife making stuff, I need to adjust a few things, clear out with some things that I was dealing with before Christmas came. One of them being a mobile base for the drum sander. And then the one other thing I need to get going was, it was just after Christmas, somebody had put on some Facebook page, free treadmill, and I thought, you know what? New year, new resolutions, I'm gonna start exercising. I'm just kidding, I did not think that. Treadmills are awesome to make tools with. What I'm gonna be doing with this treadmill is just pull apart all the parts that I wanna save. So namely the motor, that's the big ticket item I want out of there. There's also a linear actuator, will be handy. And then I need to look into how I can make a proper control box so that I can get rid of this. The last time I used the treadmill to build anything was when I did my belt grinder, and I'll put a link up in the corner, you can check that out. Now the main tool that I'm thinking of building with that right now is a pottery wheel for my wife. Those two little projects kind of have to happen. This getting disassembled, we're not gonna build the spinning wheel yet, the pottery wheel, but we need to disassemble this so I can get rid of the junk. All right, so I got this thing assembled and a little bit chintzy cheesy. I'm not, I mean, I don't know. I guess it was like 40 bucks, which isn't too terrible. So essentially you got these legs here that you adjust, and then this cam lock which pushes down on the wheel. Now it's a mobile base. When you got your machine where you want it, you just flip that and it rests on the feet at this side. These legs are these wheels in the back, straight wheels. So the other thing to think about is that these stands, you've always got two wheels that your machine is sitting on rather than on four independent legs. So it's not ever going to be as rigid or stuck to the ground as if you weren't using this cart. But with this one here, the drum sander, the conveyor belt is going this way, and all my workflow is through this way. So in this direction, it should be just fine. And even as such, this isn't a big, huge machine, and I'm not pushing on it that much. So it's really, for my application, for what I need it for, it's gonna work just fine. So let's drag this drum sander out. Well there, that's good. Happy to have that done. Now this thing is a beast. Oh, almost seems a shame to just take it apart, but I don't need a treadmill. So the first thing I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna bring the controller over, plug it in. I just wanna see this thing operate myself. The guy said it worked great, I'm sure it does, but I think it'd be foolish to spend all the time taking it apart if it doesn't work. So we're just gonna kinda throw this thing together. I'm not gonna bolt any of it, I'm just gonna plug in the ends, and then we'll be able to fire it up. All right, so this is pretty much foolproof. Got these two things. One's bigger, one's littler. Big one. Okay, let's plug this thing in. Okay, we got power right there. So that's a good thing. The one thing they did tell me is that the little magnet thing that you clip on was missing. And so that might not allow me to run this thing. I've got some LEDs lit up on that panel, but not this. So what I'm gonna do, unplug the whole thing. I'm gonna undo all these little screws, and then I should be able to see which wire it is in there, and I'll just jumper it out so it thinks that there's a magnet safety on there. Break it. Okay, cool. Put these two back in. Don't know about this. There we go. So start. Yes. It works. That's what I wanted to see. Let's try speeding it up. Oh, I should probably move this. Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a nice running little treadmill. It's so funny, it's on the screen, it's all wigging out. But in real life, it's not flashing. But on my camera, it's flashing. Now let's see if this linear actuator, let's just see if this thing works. Oh yeah. Sweet. Well, it's worth taking apart. I think this is going to be a good one. Notice this fan blade is missing one of the blades, but I think that should be okay. So we look at this, volts 105. I wonder about that. Like 105, but I wonder if that's a typo, like 105 volts and it doesn't even say DC, AC. I'm gonna check it out. The other thing I'm wondering is rotation, CCW, counterclockwise. I'm wondering if these don't run the other way. I need to do a little bit of work to it, but it's a 2.7 horsepower, so it's a decent size, 20 amp and continuous duty rated motor. So this would be good for, you know, like a spinning wheel or something like that. There's a lot of things you could do with a motor like this, but for now, let's get to taking it apart. Get the control panel out of our way. Awful lot of little dust bunnies in here, which is kind of gross. It's not the nicest thing to be working on. You know, this is people's old dead skin. You know, that's kind of nasty. There, we just need to undo the ground, and our motor is free. Okay, so now we have the motor disconnected electrically. Good. And I think, basically I've got these wires right here. These go to this motor. So I'm just gonna pull them all out of here. If they'll come out. I guess I've got this video to go back on if I need to figure out how to put it back together. Okay, I think we just have one screw, and then this panel should come out. Yep, that's it. Beauty. This motor's going to be fairly straightforward to disconnect. I mean, these bolts here, and it'll come out. This is a different story. I've got a cotter pin here, which will remove this pin. I honestly don't know how to get it off of this end. Undo these two. Oh my goodness. Alright, so now I got this little tensioner. Let me start loosening that off. And there we have it. And that was the point where I asked myself, do I really want this thing? I don't know. I think I might just toss it. No, the reason for that is that if I ever have a project where I need a linear actuator, like I'm thinking I want to build gates for a property, probably wouldn't use this, but even for something else that you want a linear actuator, I would have to spend so much time making the brackets for this, and then even so, this could be a design problem, just the mass beside it. A lot of the newer linear actuators, they've got much smaller motors on them, and everything's enclosed, so they'll probably last longer anyway. So I think I'm just going to kibosh this for now. I didn't even have a reason for it. I just thought, oh, I'll save it if it's a piece of something, you know, if it's a little mechanism that works. But by the time I make bracketry for it and blah blah blah, it's not even going to be worth keeping. So this thing is going out to the scrap. I'm not even going to cut the steel plate out. I was convinced I was going to. You can see how thick that is. But there's a lot of welds in here, and you know what? I could buy a piece of steel like that for not that much money. So sometimes you got to think your time is worth something too. Let's find out where we're gonna keep this thing. Keep these, some motor and the controls. Oh man, I was dipping into all my bicycle parts here. I need to clean this up. Well, looks like we got a spot right here. Well, I tell you, every time I come out into the sea can, it brings back good memories. Actually, right here, I think this is where I used to have my belt grinder. So basically, the very first knife making video I did in here. And this is kind of, I guess, it's kind of where this channel started. I was inside the shipping container. Now I just use it for storage of bicycles and tools, materials, ladders, angle grinders, all kinds of stuff. Every time I come out here, I kind of get a little bit sentimental because it was fun. This was where my workbench was. This was the window. Oh, good times. Good times in here. All right, so we got everything tucked away right here. So just leave everything in there for now, and then soon, hopefully, we will be getting on that little project. Just gotta measure this bicycle quick. There's a bike on local classifieds that I'm interested in, but I don't know how big the frame is gonna fit. So here's, oh, it would work. It's the same size, 23 and 23. So I might be picking up a new frame right away here, because this is a pretty low-end bike, and the one that's on the classified is a really high-end bike, both Kuharas, but I'm interested in that other bicycle. And that's just the frame, and it's 40 bucks, and I can just take a lot of this stuff, put it onto a better frame. Anyways guys, I'm going to haul that garbage out of the garage and then tidy up. Tomorrow we're gonna get back onto another knife build. I'll start filming for it at least, so stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Cheers.